You're listening to the Roofing Success Podcast, a show created to inspire roofing contractors to achieve optimal success in their roofing businesses. I'm the host, Jim Moline, the co-author of the book, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Roofing Website into an Online Lead Generation Machine. I'm also the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, the digital marketing agency for the roofing industry. On each episode, I'll be sitting down with industry leaders to talk about their processes, the lessons they've learned, and how to find success in roofing. This is a special edition of the Roofing Success Podcast, along with being a webinar. So for the listeners, for the people listening on the podcast, you may hear me interacting with people in the chat feature of the webinar, and potentially, if someone's available that wants to share some thoughts, maybe later as we get through some of the initial stuff here, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear people's thoughts on what they think is going to work, what they think is going to help drive their business forward, what they think is going to help them survive in this market, right? The situation is radically changing. Different levels of quarantines going on around the country. I just heard that Colorado ordered new quarantine, new rules. Pennsylvania ordered not all non-emergency services, right? So if you're in Pennsylvania, you can't do a roof replacement. You could do roof repair, but you can't do roof replacement. So all over the nation, we're all facing all of these different things, and they're new and challenging. We're facing the need to have people work from home. We're facing a crisis in potentially having to lay off employees, but really your community, your employees, your family, they really need you, right? They really need you at this time, and we want to be there for them, right? We want to show our strength through these situations and step up and perform. So, every part of the country is going to be a little bit different right now. So let's talk about, I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I know that I wrote the title of the email as the COVID-19 opportunity. There are always opportunity in these types of crises. And I'm not talking about the opportunity to resell hand sanitizer and toilet paper on Amazon, right? We're talking about real opportunity to generally get to create a more solid foundation in your business, and to create an opportunity to grow coming out of this crisis versus contracting, right? It's going to be a challenge. Everything is shut down. I've heard, conversations about a reduction in GDP from 2.5% to the more extreme, versions of that conversation into the 15-20%, which, we don't know. And that's the biggest thing right now, right? But what we do know is that there are tough times ahead. So we want to be prepared. We want to be prepared as much as possible. And the reason is because clients still need your services, right? Roofing is an essential service. It goes along with the safety of people's homes, right? To protect their homes and protect them, from all of this. So your work is essential. And because your work is essential, there is going to be pent-up demand through all of this, right? It's not going to just be in the roofing industry. It's going to be in the restaurant industry, in the travel industry, in the cruise industry, some of the ones that, the industries that are really just getting, hammered right now. Coming out of this crisis, there's going to be a lot of demand for that, right? We're going to want to go out and we're going to want to go out and help our neighbors, help our local communities and businesses, help the people that were hit really hard in this, get out there and once these restaurants get back open, get out there and make sure you're tipping well and, trying, to help out as much as you can in that regard. But but understand that there is going to be pent up demand. That is one thing that always happens during these types of situations. And so, there is really two potential outcomes for your business, and you're going to have to make some choices here, right? You're going to have to make some choices, whether your company comes out of this better off or worse off. You want to be focused on what you can do to come out of this better. It's going to be difficult, right? There are difficult things coming down. There are times and places in this country right now where you are not allowed to do business, right? You're just not allowed to do business. So, and duly so, in respect for the potential health epidemic that's in front of us, right? So I know there's a lot of, if you turn on your news stations, you could probably get some different opinions on things, but let's all, really talk about being, good citizens now, and making sure that we're doing the right things to make our companies come off better, right? And make that choice now. Make that choice today to come off better. The coronavirus is causing a major worldwide market aberration, right? And what we know about market aberrations, we can look into history. We can look back through, I was born this day, March 23rd in 1976. So happy birthday to me. And there were crises in the 1970s. There were, savings and loan crises in the 80s. There were multiple, there was crises in the 90s. The dot-com bubble, the dot-com bubble into 9/11, into the financial crisis in 2007, 2008, and one of the things that you want to make sure that you fully understand inside of yourself, right? You want to fully understand that market aberrations are always temporary. Now, when I say temporary, that can be, 6, 18 months. It can be, it could be, it could take a long time to recover, but that is temporary. For some of the people that are older on the call, a year or two, is a blip in history. If some of you guys are in your 20s and running a construction business, a year or two may feel like the end of the world, but coming out of this, they do end, right? They do end, and in time they fix themselves. From the people that I've been following in the financial world, it seems that is a consensus that we're probably in that 6 to 18 month range coming out of this. And of course, we don't know everything yet, right? We don't know everything yet, but that 6 to 18 month range is a good, is a good place to plan for, right? It's a good place to mentally plan for. And in these market aberrations, whoever lasts the longest stands to absorb the market share of those who didn't make it, right? Who failed during the aberration. So that's the opportunity, really, right? That's the opportunity. Make sure that you understand that there is an opportunity coming out of this, that if you can create a well-oiled machine while this is going on, and being able to position yourself in the marketplace well, and do your best with the financial stability of your company, coming out of the other side of this, you are going to be in a much better position, right? I talk to a lot of you, on a very regular basis, or we've had conversations over time, and we know that Chuck in a truck is not going to make it through this, right? That type of company that does not exude trust, they're going to have a hard time. Mary's on here, Mary Gantz is on here, and we've had conversations with all of the new rules down in Texas. So for all of you Texans, all of the new rules prior to this market aberration, all of the new rules in, trying to get rid of the, the guys that are paying deductibles and doing illegal stuff in the, in the business. That's, that's a real thing. Those types of companies are not going to make it. So make a choice what type of company you are going to be, right? Position yourself in the marketplace. Position yourself in the marketplace. Make sure that everyone in your community knows that you are still in business. Don't panic, right? Panic leads to bad decisions. It's very hard not to have a real sense of crisis during this. Is a sense of anxiety at times, especially if you're having to lay people off, furlough employees, things like that. If you're looking at your cash flow and things aren't right, those can lead to bad decisions. And so bad decisions in these times would what bad decisions in these times, let's talk honestly, would be not trimming your budgets, right? Not trimming the fat. If there is a something that you're not using that's not efficiently producing for you, that is something to get, that you should strongly consider getting rid of. Unfortunately at this time, and that could be employees also. And it's unfortunate for those employees, but sometimes they may not be the right fit for your culture. That may be, a thing that helps you out going forward. A bad decision would be canceling all marketing activities, right? If you go into a hole and disappear, people are not going to know that you're still here when, as this goes on. So you want to try to continue to, there may not be a whole lot of people out there looking for roofs right now. There's some storms going on. There was a storm out in Iowa. There was, I know that they've been predicting some hail down in Dallas area recently. When these storms come, these people are still going to need you, right? They're still going to need you. So make sure you're still creating a top of mind presence with them. Make sure that you are not pulling down all of your AdWords. One of the things that a lot of our clients I've had conversations with a lot of our clients around is AdWords, Google AdWords. The cost per click is going to go down during this time. Would you rather answer this question in your own head, would you rather be the company that's there for those people that still need it, or do you want to not be there for them? Would you rather add a person to your pipeline, not add a whole lot, right? Because there's not a whole lot of people searching for roofing, but add a person to your pipeline now that you can then get on the schedule the second that this ends, right? That is, that's part of what you want to be doing, making sure that your branding is out there, making sure that people in your markets are understanding who you are and that you're still open for business and you're taking the proper precautions if you're able to be open for business, right? Or if you're not able to be open for business, having that message, hey, we're not allowed, we're not able to put a roof on your house right now, but hey, let's have a conversation and start the conversation about actually doing that when this ends. So, realize that bad decisions can affect you during that moment in time. Those bad decisions can last forever, right? If you stop all of your marketing right now, when this ends, let's say it's 2 months, 4 months from now, you're going to have to build your pipeline from scratch, right? And then do your production and then cash your checks. If you continue doing your marketing now, you may not build your pipeline as fast as you would normally. But we're still in March here. It's still early in the season for most of you. You may not be building your pipeline as quickly as you would have normally, but at least you're building pipeline, right? You're getting deals in place for the future. So make sure you're doing that and make sure that you're positioning yourself to win when this comes about, right? Make sure that you're putting in better processes, better sales processes. Have your teams training during this time, sales training. Get all of your standard operating procedures written out, put in place. And, whatever you do, don't stop. Ante up, this is a time where it may take 10 times the effort to generate the same results as you would have seen in a normal year. Be ready to put in that 10 times the effort, right? The hot buttons now, we started this conversation with our clients as soon as we could. Really, we're always in it from a marketing perspective. We're always looking at the fears of our clients, the fears of the customer, and we want to speak to those fears to build trust in ourselves, in our companies, for them to then choose us as the provider of that for that product or service. So normally we're speaking to the fears of the consumer of, are you licensed and insured? Do you offer, what kind of warranties do you offer? What do you have financing options? Financing options over the next 6 to 18 months are going to be a big thing for those people that need a home, right? So making sure that you have financing options available to everyone, making sure that you're also communicating that you have a COVID conscious process, right? That you are taking all of the necessary precautions in your business, if you're allowed by state and local regulations, federal regulations, to go out and go out and inspect a roof these days and do an estimate. Make sure that you're communicating that process in detail to those consumers, right? All of the steps that you're taking, all of the steps and the details in that conversation are going to set you above and beyond the rest. The things that they actually care about, right? Now, there's a lot of things that people don't care about, and that's why we're seeing such a reduction in search volume, right? People are not, the retail roofing business is going to struggle a little bit more in this in the beginning of this recovery, because people lost a lot of money in the stock market, right? Let's be realistic about these things, but the people that need your services will still be there. So a couple of people are typing in some questions. So I'd like I'm going to jump over here, and for the people listening on the podcast, these are people typing in questions in chat. Let's go back and look at a couple of these. So would it be wise to offer discounts in our marketing? What would that look like? What are other companies doing? Okay, so that's a good question. So there's a couple of ways to think about that. If you are offering discounts to generate business, I was talking to a contractor the other day, and he said he was walking into this job and he knew there was going to be a negotiation taking place, right? With the customer, and this customer, he decided to have a bottom line, right? His bottom line was say $7,500, and when he got out to the job, and as he's going through it, he ended up at 7,000, and he took the job, and he doesn't like it. Personally, right? He doesn't feel good about that sale, and it's because he knows that his work is worth more than that. But the fear of losing that customer was a major reason, right? The fear of losing that work was a reason that he was open to negotiating down. And that, that's something that we're going to run into a lot. So offering discounts, in your marketing, I think that it can work. You'd have to test different things. We know that some offers with discounts work, especially in retail. On the retail side of roofing, there's definitely, discounting or the idea of discounting, right? Because it's discounting your price. It's not discounting the market price. So other companies, I would still focus on the value of your company, right? The value that you provide, because if you have no margins in your work, you will not last, You may want to do 5 jobs with a great margin versus 10 jobs with no margin. But that's a business decision, right? If you can float that and make that work, that's up to you. We're seeing another, back to the chat here, we run continuous discounts for signing up for our email list, requesting a quote. For sure, get people in the pipeline, right? Get people in the pipeline. That's going to be the game right now, is getting people in the pipeline and nurturing those people until they're ready to buy. So those are the things that you want to do. And speaking to nurturing a little bit, we're providing, some of you that are on the call, Sean and Mary and Dan and a few others here, Art, and we're going to be providing our clients a message, an email template that they're going to be able to send out to those prospects in their pipeline, with a conversation around what's going on with the coronavirus. Some lighthearted. We want to focus on some lighthearted and things that are great human achievements or great human efforts and things like that. And then talking about, hey, this is what's going on locally, and we can serve you or we can't serve you. For Sean with the question, we had this conversation. You're out in Pennsylvania. You're not putting a roof on right now, right? That's a real thing. So we have to be able to continuously put ourselves in front of the client, but with the right message, because there are only certain things that people are caring about right now, right? And the things that we're caring about is, that's changing fast. It's a difficult thing. So create and maintain good business habits. Saving money and refining your processes. These are the two things that you can really focus diligently on during this time. I have a past episode of the Roofing Success podcast with Sean Van Dyke, the author of Profit First for Roofing, or for Contractors, Profit First for Contractors. Please go back and listen to that material. The way you structure your cash flow management during these times is going to be critical. And I recommend buying his book, following him on all social media. I just believe in the profit first system and how that cash flow management will, as you're going along, throw up red flags in your business if you are not bidding jobs properly, right? If you're not doing the right things in your business. Saving money and allocating your resources properly is going to be integral during this process. And then refining your processes, right? Finding where you can achieve better results, more efficient results. The episode that's coming after this one for the podcast is with AccuLinks. AccuLinks is one of the top business development softwares in the roofing industry, and they have a lot of ways to nurture your leads, to do everything electronically from DocuSign. It integrates with EagleView and doing all of these things. So putting and refining your processes so that you're creating the most efficient processes possible. And if anyone has any, we have 50 owners of roofing contractors on this call right now, on this, listening to this live. I think when times like this happen, sharing is an important part of it, right? So, don't just look for the answers. Help in that conversation of the answers also. Be contrarian. This is a big one, man. This is Warren Buffett right here, right? This is one of the wealthiest people in the world. Became one of the wealthiest people in the world by being a contrarian, by doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing. As your competitors are pulling back and going and hiding, they're going out of business for this time. Do not go out of business. Continuously get in front of your consumers. Create content, create video content. Push harder, right? Push harder. Don't follow what everyone else does. Be creative. Think out of the box. If you are not able to go out to job sites on a daily basis, if you're not able to be in your office on a daily basis, then set up a place at your house, pull out your phone and start shooting videos. Show people in your community that you're there and you're providing good information. Provide information that's relevant to them around this crisis in relation to roofing, and then also maybe in relation to your community. How can you go out and help your community, and that becomes your part of your marketing. The most successful people don't watch the news because they are the news, right? That's the Warren Buffett stuff. Warren Buffett said, we simply attempt to be fearful. Warren Buffett's success was described as, we simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy, and to be greedy when others are fearful. The software that I mentioned was AccuLynx, Brian. And so I want to talk to you about this because I was in a position in 2008 when the financial crisis hit. I was investing in real estate, or really I became a real estate investor coming out of that financial crisis, is when I started doing most of my real estate investing. And the reason I got into that is I was a partner in a real estate and mortgage brokerage that was opened in the summer of 2007. So I was doing all of the marketing for the company and managing events and things like that we were doing. And we started the company. We started the company in around June or July of 2007, and by October it was out of business because of the financial crisis. But in doing that, I found opportunity in the real estate market. And now looking back, think about this. A lot of you are in a lot of markets around the country. There was opportunity that people didn't see in front of them in 2008. There was a lot of opportunity when the mortgage and real estate crash hit. There was a lot of opportunity. Coming out of all of these crises are a lot of opportunity. And so making sure that you're positioning yourself to take advantage of those opportunities is really what makes or breaks you. Here is a time that you can focus on being the best, right? Being the best in your market, being the best marketer, being the best being at the best at every aspect of your business, being the best manager of people. Don't be the last one standing, be the best from the start. So, this is how you dominate a marketplace, and then you'll clean up once those around you fail, right? Do you think that, so when there's opportunity in this, there's opportunities all around. Let's start by, do you think there are some great salespeople that may be interested in coming to work for a company that is positioned to do well? Right? Of course they are. Especially in these times of crisis. They want to be with a company that they know is going to be able to generate the leads that it takes for them to close a deal. They want to be with a company that manages their production side efficiently and gets those jobs, turned over and closed out. There's going to be an opportunity in hiring, right? There's going to be an opportunity. The first person back to market is going to get the crews, right? If you'll be able to get your crews running first, but then there's going to be other companies out there that, hey, those crews are not going to be able to get back up and running as quickly. You may have some opportunity to get some of those, get some really great people on your team as these things go along. So you want to make sure that you're understanding that there is a great opportunity in this. It is a crisis, of course, but making sure that you have the right mindset and staying focused. And one of the great sales trainers of the past couple of decades is Zig Ziglar, And you have to have forward thinking, right? Expect the best, prepare for the worst, and capitalize on what comes. You're going to have to be able to make quick adjustments because we really don't know what's happening. The way that some of the stay in place, shelter in place rules have been put in place across the country, they come up quick. So if they haven't been implemented in your area, have a plan. It may be a week from now that those types of things are being implemented in your area. There are others of you that may not really happen in your area. If you're in more rural areas, something like that, it's a possibility. But be prepared for the worst, right? Have that plan of action. So this, the COVID-19 opportunity represents an opportunity to take market share and serve your clients in their time of need and get a long-term competitive advantage, right? So make sure that you're focused on this as a concept in your business and as a foundation in your business. Be sure to emphasize that your operation is open for business, fully prepared to safely care for your customers. So making sure that you're putting your messaging out properly, around this, so that you're calming the fears of the consumer. We've helped our clients implementing this in describing this process, as I said earlier. Be sure to emphasize that you're doing this. Focus on your organic footprint. Whether that be your search engine optimization, your Google My Business listing. If you have a lull in the action here, maybe go back to your customers from last year. Give them a phone call, see if they need anything, right? Hey, how are you doing out there? Do you need anything? Going back and reinforcing that you are someone important in their lives and can be more important in their lives beyond roofing. Build those relationships because the referrals come with those relationships. Your organic footprint is very important during this time. No matter how long we're down, if you're doing proper SEO, you're going to come out of this better than before. You're going to be ranked higher than before. Google is going to continue to reward the businesses that are doing the right things from an SEO perspective. So maybe today you're not, you're ranked, on page 3 of Google. By the time this ends, you may be able to hit page 1, right? You may be able to show up in the 3-pack. You may be able to have generated some reviews from past clients that make your business look, and feel more trustworthy to a consumer searching. We highly recommend keeping paid search running, right? There's a couple people on the call here. I won't mention your names here, but you know who you are, where we've had conversations about keeping paid search running because the market is going to determine your budget. If you come to me and tell me, look, Jim, I have $50,000 I want to dump into AdWords. I want it this week. It's not going to happen, right? There is not enough search volume to spend your budget. So keeping your paid ad search running, let the market determine your budget at this time. While that's going on, be optimizing those ads so that when this ends, you turn it up, right? The market will tell you the second that this ends, you're going to see search volume increase. You're going to see your your leads coming in from your ads more effectively. And then also there's a great opportunity on social media, on Facebook, to build brand awareness during this time. Everyone is on their phone all day long, on their tablets, on their desktops. So being able to put your business in front of them, right now, social media marketing, having essentially ads like, if you're not doing it much social media marketing or haven't done social media marketing, it's a great place for brand awareness. So spend some money on social media, create some good ad copy around that talking about, your company and the benefits of your company and your safety and care for your customers, and that you're letting them know that you're still open, letting them know that you'll still take their phone call and help walk them through the situation that they're facing, whether, they're seeing they looked up, they haven't sat in that room for a couple of months, and then now all of a sudden they look up and there's a water stain on the ceiling and they're going, oh boy, we need to call someone. Be there for those people, right? Be there in their time of need. For our customers, we've already, put this together for you and sent out the COVID-19 messaging kit. If you haven't gotten it back to us, let's get those revisions in place and get those implemented. For those of you that joined us on the webinar, I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna take this COVID messaging kit and send it out to you also. Some great examples of what you can do to put your company first in this. And now, if you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to us at any time. Jim@roofermarketers.com, 855-799-1252. But now, we have about 50 people on this call, and I know there's some really, really, really smart people on this call. And I would like to hear from you and share with the group an opportunity that you think, one thing that you think will help your business make it through this crisis. So if you could put that in chat. For those of you listening, I'm going to be watching this chat here. Those of you listening on the podcast that will be listening, I'm going to read these off here in a second. So, this can be an opportunity for you. Brian, we have one person that says local service ads, right? Local service ads, if you're not aware of Google local service ads, they are the 3 ads at the top of the page. If you type in roofing company near me, they are a great way to generate a lead for your business. And they are a pay per lead model. So again, during this time, we're going to have a reduced amount of people searching for our services. But the people that do are going to be very serious, right? So, or potentially could be more serious buyers. So jump on those Google local service ads. If you haven't gotten set up, it takes 2 to 4 weeks to get approved in the program. Start that process now. You have time now to do that. Chuck with True Line Roofing, says, we will all get through this. And that's the, that's the truth, is we all have to know that this is going to end, right? It really is going to end. And there are great opportunities on the other side of this. It's going to hurt right now, right? Truth is, it's going to hurt. There are going to be pain. It can be painful during this time. But make sure that you are the type of person that puts the effort into becoming the business in your area, the roofing company, the siding company in your area. Put that process in together. Put that process in. Put all of that together. And make sure that you're doing all of the right things financially. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, take care of your communities during this time of crisis. And thank you all for showing up live on this. Anything that you need, reach out to us. If you have any ideas, shoot me an email. Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Let's put our help and support together. Because the people that did join this call, the 50 contractors that did join this call, that's a very small portion to the companies out there in the world. So let's all share and try to create an environment where we can help each other, trade ideas, and come out of this on the other side in a better way. So thanks everyone for your time. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. Talk to you soon.
If you would like to generate more sales through your digital marketing efforts, please visit roofermarketers.com and get a copy of the book, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales and Turn Your Roofing Website into an Online Lead Generation Machine. Also, check the training section of the website for guides on everything from running effective pay-per-click ads to how to properly set up your Google My Business listing. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast. Thanks for listening.